sports entertainment. It's the real to you, damn it. You support us, your favorite. Talking name, Jay Styles, Chris Jericho, and all the greatest. Your top 5 dead or alive, the broader stages. Like WrestleMania, all in and all out. NXT takeover, what the bit is about. Putting fans in the stands and the millions at home. Like the Rock versus Stone Cold, we're stealing the show. Wrestle Fandom Radio and Disruption Network with Dippin' Donuts. ICW, we make fanatics flipping donuts. Every time we're live at local shows and it's a bonus. We're family friendly, all the growing ups and kids condone us. We're dedicated to bringing you all the top news. Ain't no dirt sheet, this ain't rhetoric, we do not snooze. No speculation, we're just bringing them facts. Ain't no storyline of fiction when I spit on these tracks. It's Wrestle Fandom Network, Wrestle Fandom Radio. Every week's an episode, hoping with your favorite show. Hear about your favorite pro, what's the scoop from backstage? Hear us on the podcast and go and view our fan page. Disruption Network, Wrestle Fandom Radio. Every week's an episode, hoping with your favorite show. Hear about your favorite pro, what's the scoop from backstage? Hear us on the podcast and go and view our fan page. Disruption Network, Wrestle Fandom Radio. Every week's an episode, hoping with your favorite show. Hear about your favorite pro, what's the scoop from backstage? Hear us on the podcast and go and view our fan page.
Welcome, one and all. It's Garrett, Todd, no Joe, but it's still Wrestle Fandom Radio.
It's true.
What's going on, bro?
I am hungry. It just hit me out of nowhere.
It just hit you out of nowhere?
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
kind of hungry, too.
Like, you know, when
noon.
you're just hanging out and you're just like, all of a sudden, it's like, you're like, oh. So, yeah, I'm hungry.
It's noon, you know.
And I've been getting up earlier because our morning guy quit.
Right.
So I've been having to go in, and I'm training somebody now, but I've been having to get up at like 4 in the morning and go to work, which I hadn't done since I worked for that terrible company, Pepsi, that I used to work for. Like, ugh. Don't drink Pepsi. It's bad. Yeah, but we're here. We're
When I was younger, I was a Pepsi guy, and the older I got, it's Coke. When I do have like sodas and everything, I have to have like diets or zero sugars because
unless it's on like
I'm
sale,
old.
I really am so against Pepsi anymore.
So
because there's also this wrestler that has the Pepsi logo on his arm.
Wow, we're getting right to it.
Well, it actually just came to me, so I was like, perfect. But yep, bye, Punk. You are blacklisted. You are done. You are toast. Like you are a fucking idiot, man. Like there's no other words to describe how stupid you are.
Dude, I've been mildly arguing with a ton of people online.
It's not worth it, man.
You know,
it's really not.
It's not because it's, you know what, it's very much like, it's the same reason, like I stopped arguing politics with people online. One, I don't know half the people that I was even arguing with. This time I know actually, you know, most of the people I'm arguing with, but it's like, everyone seems to have the same, you know, like a lot of the same like points that they make. And it's like, you know, it's everyone's starting with him. Everyone is starting with him.
No, he's just.
He's the common denominator. You know what I mean? He is the problem.
So,
you know what I mean? Like it, you know, in tons of people, you know, like other wrestlers and everything. And like I was talking, you know, Red and I were going back and forth. Fans, Sean.
It's just
different color.
The way he goes about it. So,
you know?
The whole Jack Perry thing.
Right.
You know, if he was smart, and instead of being like, oh, he wants to use real glass because he wants to get hurt and be out. Or how about you be like, hey, you know what? As a veteran of this business, it's really risky to use real glass.
Yeah.
Unless we're going for gusto in a big pay-per-view. Man, for your safety, it probably isn't smart. Okay.
Yeah.
Then to me, that's coming from a place of,
right.
I've been doing this for a long time. This is a veteran's advice to somebody that is not new, but you know what I mean, like an up-and-comer, whatever. He goes about everything just the complete wrong way.
Right.
Instead of being like, hey, let's talk about this. Hey, let me rip your face off because I started something. And then you threw it back in my face, and now I'm angry because you had a comeback for what I started.
Yeah.
And that's what it seems like. It's when people are like,
and everyone's going at Perry about it, and they're like, "Oh, he could have he could have kept his mouth shut." But at the same time, why is he the only one who has to take the high road?
right, exactly. And
He has to tiptoe around around Punk's fragile ego. No, like if he got pissed, he said something. Punk could have gotten easily just as pissed and been like, "Listen, you little bitch," and said what he needed to say. Instead, in all the reports are coming, saying the same thing. He sucker punched him. Mm-hmm. He choked him.
Yep.
He knocked over monitors. When Tony Khan tried to get in between them, like he got in Tony's face and said he was going to quit. So like,
just imagine though. Just think about this.
You're going to let's even say Perry was 100% wrong in the situation. Okay.
He shouldn't even be suspended right now after Punk got fired. Like,
you know what he did? He did instigate. Let's be a little fair.
But it's not like the other incident where everybody was beating the shit out of each other. You know what I mean? Like he came back at him. He should have taken the high road, but he came back at him, rightfully so.
Yeah, you know what? No, you're right. He should not be.
But after they fired Punk, they should have lifted his suspension, because now if they were like, well, you know what, Jack walked in the back and walked up to Punk, shoved him,
took a swing,
punched him, Punk punched him back, put him in a chokehold. Yep. Boom, done. But
get rid of Perry if that's going to be the case. You know what I mean?
But that's not like, if that dude walked back there, and from what I've seen more definitively was like they got in each other's faces, one got shoved, Punk punched him, put him in a chokehold, got broken up by numerous people. Perry should have, if he was suspended, but as soon as they fired Punk, they should have been like, you're coming back. Because it wasn't the whole after the medium, or media scrub, like it wasn't like that at all. Like that was an intense, multiple people fight. This was a one person, I'm a big bitch, and I'm going to show you that I'm just a big bitch because you threw it back in my face like most people would do. Yeah. And I keep seeing a lot of stuff.
It's just words. You know what I mean? It's just like if they were mad at each other, if they were having issues, you know what I mean? Like, okay, so then Perry said that. Perry took a shot at him.
Yeah.
Fine. Take a shot back. You know what I mean? Call him a punk-ass little bitch for taking a shot at him on camera. You know what I mean? Did it need to get physical? No, it didn't. It really did not.
No.
And it's, and I guess, Kevin Nash has even said it out of, like, he might need, like, mental help. If your ego can't take that, you know what I mean? It's bad. But almost worse than that is everyone that seems to run to his defense.
Oh yeah.
And it like all it's like, again, I tell people I was just excited about him coming back because I thought the change that it could actually bring, the change he wanted in WWE, he could actually bring forth in AEW. But whether Triple H's promo all those years ago to him was scripted or not, it's true.
Oh yeah.
He only wants change if it benefits him.
Yeah.
If he's at the top.
So did you hear about the latest thing that came out with him about
Regal?
What's that? No.
Oh, I heard about that.
He initially wanted to leave AEW at the end of 2022, come back at Royal Rumble this year, get eliminated, and then do a program with whoever eliminated him.
Owens.
Which would have been Owens.
Yeah.
I could have dug that, to be honest with you, because it wouldn't have been, here's Punk, number 30, he wins, he goes to WrestleMania. It would have been, here's Punk, people would have gone ballistic, Owens and him would have put on a good little match, even in the middle of the Rumble, and Owens throwing him out. That would have been a cool program to watch kind of going forward in a way, because you have Punk's a good wrestler. It's just him as a person is kind of a shitty person.
Yeah. But he's not even the best wrestler is the thing.
No,
it's like he always says best in the world. And now it's even worse because he's
But nobody's gonna, Any company that actually brings him in,
he's not great. Sorry.
No, any company that brings him in is just signing their own death warrant. I don't know I don't know what show. I don't have cable, so I can't watch AEW. But at a recent show after Punk got fired, I saw a picture of somebody holding a sign that said, like, "Thank you, Tony, for curing cancer," or "Tony Khan cured cancer," something along those lines.
It seems like there's two different camps here. It's everyone that absolutely loves Punk, and it's everybody else's fault and everyone else's problem. And even Suplex, whose videos we watch, I didn't watch it, but it was a title that said "CM Punk isn't the problem, you are," and I'm like, is Suplex in the CM Punk camp? Like, it's crazy that. It's not even like it's not like he came back and I'm like, oh great, here's CM Punk. I was excited. I was all for it. But you have to just look at reality objectively, which I think we could get into how everyone's objective reality, given everything in the world right now. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But I don't know, man. I'm just. If he's gone, I hope there's no way he shows back up in WWE. It's not.
If he does, I'm done. I can't.
It's not going to happen. The only way it would happen is if Shane came back
and Triple H
left.
Yeah.
That's it. That is the only way. And he may only get the stint that he's talking about, the Rumble to Mania stint.
Because that's what I saw, too. People were like, oh, we'll give him a 6-month contract and da-da-da.
That's not even a 6. That's a 4-month.
Right, but you could still
you know what I mean? That's a 3.5. That's a 3.5 months.
6 month.
He could do anything. He hasn't been back that long.
No.
How long? Like, he came back in the first episode of Collision. How many episodes has it been on? And he ruined it.
2 months ish.
2 months. So it took him 2 months to sabotage himself again. That's.
And
I'm sorry. It's just and everyone is coming with every excuse. So it's the Bucks' fault. They shouldn't be EVPs. You know what? Maybe, and I will agree.
They probably shouldn't.
I will agree that active wrestlers should not be EVPs of company.
Yeah.
However, it doesn't change the fact that they are.
Right. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. Do I agree that they shouldn't be? Sure. Are they? Yes.
Yeah.
Like. It doesn't, and when you go back to the whole scrum thing, the way it started, you don't win the championship, go and sit down and not talk about winning the championship, not stay. You sit there and you just air all the dirty laundry, and it's like, another common point is like, oh, he was trying to do the meeting, to make the meeting, to smooth everything out. He's already done the damage.
Yeah. You can't go back.
Then given his own show in a company where you're an EVP and you don't like this guy.
Yeah.
Okay? And then you don't want to smooth things out. What? Because you essentially don't have to. This guy's got his own show. The company has been separated, and this guy's got his own show. Why do you have to smooth things out with him when the damage is done and he's got what he's want? He's got a show made around and for him.
Not anymore.
Why? Yeah.
So now why? Why gonna do the show?
You know what I mean? So like, what's the point? It's like, oh, he wanted to smooth things. Yeah, because he got what he wanted. Of course, he wanted to smooth things out.
Well, that's the other thing that annoyed me with him, too, and you guys know how I feel about fucking people coming back or whatever and instantly winning a title. He was like, I want to work with the guys in the back and the younger, then you shouldn't be given a title in the first 2 or 3 months you come back.
Shouldn't have been given a title.
I don't care who you are,
especially the main title. If he wanted to win a title, give him the TBS. Give him the...
Or don't give him anything. Make him do something for a year without winning any of that shit, because your name shouldn't be the reason why you're winning titles, Charlotte Flair, because that's exactly what's happening.
But she's awesome.
It's not the point. The point is that she is almost tied with people that took 20 plus years to get to that same number, and she did it in less time.
I don't think she should win another one for a while.
She should never win anymore. She should not beat that number. It's not fair to the people that have been doing it for a long time.
Okay, but before she's done, she should tie her dad.
Right, but somebody else deserves to beat him, not her.
That's fair.
And I'm
not disagreeing.
I don't think that's going to happen. Though.
I'm saying by the time she's done,
right,
she should have 16. And
she'll go. Dude, and she also, has 14 already, and
14,
she's been doing it for like 8 years.
Yeah, I mean, technically, if they're also only counting those ones because they're only counting like just like what they do with Flair.
Yeah.
It's like, because technically he's in like the 20s or something like that.
With all the other
with all the other
right.
with all his other and like technically she's higher because I don't think they're counting NXT title reigns.
No.
Which she is too.
But that's what I mean. Punk got that title because of who he is.
Yes.
He didn't earn it. He didn't whatever.
No,
he hadn't wrestled
he did not
in
earn it.
7 years.
Everyone
blah, blah,
else
blah.
earned it.
That's what I mean. Like that's what pisses me off.
Mox earned it. Mox earned it
Yes.
10 times
But
over.
like Gunther, that dude did not earn that because you were not on the main roster long enough for you to get the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah.
I think he came to it and was there for less than a month and got it. Like that's the type of things that I'm like, this is what's wrong with these companies is they're giving it to people who really, in my opinion, I don't care if, well, in NXT, I don't care. There's a difference. NXT is developmental. Raw, SmackDown, that's the big leagues.
You have to
start over.
You have to prove. You have to start over.
And it's like, it's always the ones that really deserve it, that bust their ass, that get it or never get it.
Chad Gable should have that belt.
Yeah, or they get it for
now.
a month and then it's gone.
Yeah.
And then somebody gets it back for, like I legitimately, when Bianca first won that title, that night, I was pissed. I'm like, I can't believe they gave it back to her. Like, give it to somebody else.
As soon as that music hit, I was like,
yes, and I didn't even consider that, So I was like, oh, sweet, this is going to be better. But then I also was like conflicted. Are they going to just squander it and have her lose that Money in the Bank opportunity and just say, nope, Bianca still won it? Mm-hmm. But no, I mean, Punk is stupid. He had a great opportunity, and no one will touch him again. No one will. Any company that decides to be like, you know what, if like Impact was like, yeah, we'll bring him on. Okay, well, goodbye, Impact.
Yeah,
like,
that's the final nail in the coffin.
But I also look at Punk, and I feel that he would also look at Impact as beneath him. He seems like that type of douchebag.
Well, yeah.
So it's, that's the thing, though, too. It's like I feel like if anybody else reached out to him that wasn't those two, he would be like, nah, it's not good enough for me. Good, dude. Go back to whatever, UFC and get your ass kicked again.
Yeah.
Like you've ruined a lot of cool shit. You've ruined a lot of cool storylines. Like you not destroyed a company, but man, you put just a huge black mark on that company that's going to take them a long time to wash away.
And the future programming, like the Punk heel turn that was, coming, the big, he's a flat out bad guy. And we're getting a more face MJF. Like the two, and now imagine it's flipped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's flipped from where it was last time. And then you have somebody who never lost the title and then somebody who is currently the champ.
And I kind of
going at it, it would have been absolutely great.
And this is where I wish AEW pay-per-views weren't $50 friggin' because I don't watch them. It's a lot of money.
They need their own network.
But they do. I think they're
working on it. Be on a network.
Yeah. But I do, now seeing the clips I've seen of MJF, I'm like, I like this dude, and not just because he's kind of like a face now. I like this dude because now I have seen the range of what he can do as a character. He can be the bad guy. He can be the good guy, but does it very well on each end. At first I wasn't a huge fan of MJF just because he was a douche, and he was always a douche. People that carry that character into everyday life, I don't know, man. It's your character, it's your job. You don't need to be like that all the time. You don't need to be flipping off small children. I don't care if your character is supposed to be a heel. There's a line you just kind of, okay, I'm supposed to be an asshole, but man, there's a 6-year-old here. I'm not going to be a huge asshole. I won't smile. I'll mean mug him or whatever. But, those are the things I was like, you know what? I get you want to keep this heel persona. But, there's also, if it's somebody my age, yeah, dude, flip me off. Get in my face. Yell at me. Have fun with it. Cool. I can take it. I'm an adult. Some kids can, and some kids get really upset by that shit.
Yeah.
And, then what? Then the kid gets upset, and you're still going to play that persona and be an asshole to now an upset kid. Yeah. But then seeing him with Cole and seeing him smiling and laughing and just being a completely different person, if you will. I'm like, wow, dude, the respect I have for you, you're a good wrestler, but the respect I have for your ability to go from those characters and do that is amazing because people can do it, but some people do it really well.
Right.
And he's one of those guys. And I wish I had watched that AEW thing,
Yeah.
like him and Samoa Joe, just because Samoa Joe pushed him when he was coming down the ramp.
Right.
Just kind of shoved him off to the side. He was laughing about it, which I was like, yeah, Joe.
Yeah, it goes back to NXT.
Yeah, and then he comes in and starts, beating the hell out of him. Well, she's not this anymore, but Lana returned as well.
Right.
CJ Perry.
Yeah.
To beat up Hobbs.
Right.
Or whatever. Yeah, that's his name, right? Or
Yeah.
Hook. Well, yeah, Hobbs. Which was pretty funny because I don't know if she's been in AEW at all.
She hasn't, no.
So that was like,
She just showed up, and then, I don't know, Mira just looked at her weird, then left.
I only saw her come down to the ring.
It's a weird angle. I don't know where they're going.
Yeah, I saw her come down to the ring, hit him with a chair. He got up, and then Miro beat him down with a chair, and then that was like the end of the clip. I didn't.
Yeah, and then he just like looks at her, and instead of like saying anything, he just like gets out of the ring and leaves. Like he's mad that
because
she's
they were like, oh, it's his wife. Like when she came in, like. So it wasn't like Lana and Rusev back in the day where it was like this whatever. It was like they blatantly were like, and there's his wife, da 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 da. And it's like, so yeah, what kind of angle are you? Are you going to do the whole Bobby Lashley angle?
No, God, that was so dumb, dude. Like it's just so like I'm so against like them. It's like the whole Dom and and Rhea angle, like that they're like an item when she's engaged to somebody
There
else.
is
Like
so much of me that wishes Buddy Murphy would get fired from AEW.
He's
and
not.
come
He's so good.
back
He's so good
to WWE and just beat the holy hell out of Dom because I think
Just
that
demolish
would be
Dominic.
an amazing whatever because it's kind of like the joke but not like I think that would be just fantastic if he came back.
He holds on to the belt until he's going to take on a mystery person on NXT, and then it's Buddy Murphy.
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
Buddy just literally like Dom doesn't even get a move in. Like he's just
yeah. It would
and
be like the
then he
whole,
just hits him with every move that exists.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I would love that. It would be like the Cena Lesnar match where you know like 16 suplexes or whatever. Just Cena had no offense. Like that would be perfect. Just. Yep, have him come back and just be, or have him, have Dom be 29 in the Royal Rumble and have Buddy Murphy be 30.
Awesome.
But I guess Dom got his clock clean last night. It was like Mustafa Ali versus somebody else in NXT, and Dom was the ref.
Oh, really?
And Mustafa won, but not dirty on Mustafa's part, dirty on, like Dom did a quick count.
Uh-huh.
So, like, he went to raise his hand, and Mustafa just took him out. I was like, yeah, but when did you go back to NXT, man? Like, Mustafa, I thought he was...
He's been there for a little while. Yeah.
Has he? I thought he was still up in the...
Yeah, it seems like certain wrestlers are just going down for stints there, which I think is good.
Well, you know what?
I think it gives it more legitimacy when it seems to have lost a lot of it after the era of, like, the Undisputed Era and... Ciampa and all those people that were making it the best product.
Well, and it gives those people
it was at that time
like a different opponent,
right?
It's like here comes somebody from Raw or SmackDown to start a program with some, like it just gives like a different feel to it because now it's like, and they stay for a bit. It's not just like, I came for a match and went back to SmackDown. It's like, hey, I'm here and I'm here for the next 2 months. Working this program with this person or that person. And it's like, that's cool. I still don't think Dom should have that belt. But
probably not. But
I'm assuming, I think it's Mustafa that one that is going to go against him. So I'm hoping that he wins it and takes it away from him. Do we have a commercial?
Yeah, I'm going to run a commercial.
Commercial.
All right.
Pay the bills.
Do you need some screen printing done? How about some vinyl work? Don't worry, we got you covered. Head on down to Seasonal Sports on University Boulevard in Whitesboro for all your vinyl and screen printing needs. Seasonal Sports, University Boulevard, Whitesboro.
So I just went on Facebook because I had 30 seconds. And if there we go. There was an article up of Chris Jericho reacts to AEW firing CM Punk.
Oh, yeah, I read that.
Did you?
Earlier. Yeah. I mean, if you want to go over it.
I'm just reading.
Yeah. Well,
I don't want to dwell on this or talk about it, but I should address it. CM Punk no longer with AEW. Wembley was his last match, which, what a way to go out if you're going to go out. I did speak to him briefly. I was going to do a Frankensteiner off the top, and I know that he does that sometimes, so I was curious who's going to do it. Went to talk to him for a bit, asked if he was going to do it. He wasn't. I told him I was going to do the GTS with a straight face, and I think for a second he thought I was going to. I was joking, of course. I did see him that day. It's a regretful moment, what happened, but Tony Khan made his decision. CM Punk was a big part of AEW from the time he was here, and if you're going to go out, he went out on top by having his big match with Smojo in a sold-out stadium. That's really a misleading title.
It is misleading.
Because that was not a reaction to him being fired at all. That was just confirming that he was fired.
Like, see ya.
Screw you, still real to us, which I follow quite religiously, but still.
I don't like misleading headlines.
No. I generally try to read the comments because somebody's like, hey, it's this.
You know.
So, yeah, AEW. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Payback was over the weekend, I think. Correct? Wasn't it last weekend?
What do you think about Jay being on Monday?
So here is what I've heard rumors of now is that they'll be moving somebody to SmackDown, which I'm pretty sure is going to be Cody.
Oh, God, they are going to move Cody.
And it's funny.
You're right. You're right, because it's like, oh, he had to do everything to get him there. So how do you, like, he's going to.
That's why he was like, I hope I made the right decision or the right choice. Plus, like when Adam Pearce was talking about it, I haven't watched Raw yet, and this may just be a coincidence, but he also happened to be wearing like an American flag tie. And that's where a lot of people were like, look at the tie he's wearing, you know? And I'm like, it could be a coincidence. It's Labor Day, but it could also be a subtle.
No, you're right. You're right.
You know, a subtle sign. But
what's his name will be there finally, because he hasn't been there in a few weeks.
And that sets it up for Cody versus Roman.
Yeah, but all the way at Mania.
Maybe. You never know. Survivor Series
all
is
the way.
up.
No, there's no way. I mean,
he needs to lose it before Mania, or I'm going to find it and take it from him.
You know what I mean?
Because I am so sick of it, and I
can't see him losing it before Mania.
But this is
with what they've been doing.
But this is a perfect example of why it doesn't make sense to me. When was the last time he was even on TV? When was the last time he even defended that belt?
A few weeks ago.
Those were the things that pisses me off.
A month or so ago. Yeah. I think, what's his name? Jinder Mahal, as I think maybe before the last title defense, had more title defenses than Roman.
Brock's probably had more, and he would just disappear for like half a year.
He wrestled like 5 times a year.
Yeah. And now he's back more than, was. I don't know what happened to him, but that's the thing that always kind of like, I don't know. That's the thing that's pissing me off more and more.
I mean, if it depends on if they're totally. The other thing too about moving Jay is if they're also totally done with the bloodline stuff, which it doesn't seems to me like they're still holding on with the whole Jimmy and.
But Jimmy didn't claims he's not part of it. He didn't do it for Roman in the bloodline. He did
but then he comes in and he saves Solo, and then comes in and tries to give Solo a hug. And then and then he goes, and then Solo goes to spike him, and Paul's like, putting his hand up, no, don't do that. And it's like, and then Jimmy throws up the one. So it's like, what is Jimmy doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what? None of it makes sense. They should have done what I said they should have done. And if they're going to carry it out until Mania, then they should have. So payback should have been Jay versus Jimmy, and
which would make sense.
And
complete sense.
And Solo gets involved, but gets his ass kicked. So then by both of them. So then Roman says, "This is your last chance to get the job done. Go and get it done at Survivor Series." And then it's Jimmy versus Jay versus Solo at Survivor Series. Again, it's gonna be an awesome match. Like literally all 3 brothers versus each other, and Solo gets pinned and loses. Roman gets pissed at him, does the same thing. He's pushing him by his face, and Solo spikes him. Boom, Solo's out. Bloodline's dead. And then it's literally Solo versus Jimmy versus Jay, because again, there was you can write off no definitive winner.
Yeah.
Because it's like you could say, you could have had, Jay get the finishing move, but then Jimmy got the pin. You know what I mean? So it was dirty, or however you want to do it, or vice versa. And then at Rumble, it's Roman versus Solo versus Jimmy versus Jay. All the members of the Bloodline versus each other. At the Rumble, you got a good match, you got a big thing. And then boom, the Bloodline is definitely dead. Roman still walks away with it on top, but that's when you have Cody lose the Rumble that time, right? But then, and then you have the winner from Raw. So then he not only makes the trade then for himself, but then wins Elimination Chamber, gets himself into there, and then boom. And then that's how I would have ran that entire storyline, because he's going after Roman, and then it would make sense. You know what I mean? No. I don't want like all due respect to this to the World Heavyweight Championship, and I will have it around my waist someday. But that wasn't why I came here. I came here for the WWE title. I want that title. I want my WrestleMania moment. I want that, and he gets eliminated. And then because they always say that the last chance to be in the main event is at Elimination Chamber. It's the last chance.
So here's what's not going to make any sense going forward, and this is why I hate the draft.
That's what I would have done.
Right. This is what I hate. Why I hate the draft. So if they're like, this belt is staying on Raw and this belt is staying on SmackDown, what if somebody from Raw wins the Royal Rumble and they want Roman's title? You can't go for it because you're not on SmackDown. You're on Raw. That title's supposed to stay over there. This is where I hate when they start dividing it, because then it doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. If you're this totally is specifically here, well, then you know that if somebody's going to go after Roman, it's got to be somebody from SmackDown that's going to win the damn thing, because it's not going to make sense. Because you automatically know if somebody from Raw wins Royal Rumble, that they're going to lose against him at WrestleMania.
Right.
It's blatant, Which
is why I would have written that. That's what I would have done. That would have been the whole thing for me. Was you want to really. It's like, because now it seems like it's run stale, because now Jay's on Monday and no one knows what's going on with Jimmy and the Blood, because it doesn't make sense.
Because
it would have made sense to keep it going that way, the inner turmoil continuing to go. These last two pieces, three technically, staying together, fighting these two that are divided, and then and then it's piece by piece. You get all of these matches that you eventually would. Well, I want to see all of those matches. I want to see Jimmy versus Jay. I want to see the three brothers versus themselves, and then I want to see the four of them, every member of the Bloodline versus each other. I want to see all those, which is why I fantasy wrote it in my head.
So here's the thing:
in a perfect world, that's what we would have.
Right.
If that's what we're in a perfect world, Roman would have lost the belt a while ago.
Right. So that's the thing is, if they do all four against each other, if they can't do it for the title, because we all know that he's going to win it, so that match is null and void. You know what I mean? Like, we all know he'll win it. If they were like, here's all four of you for the title in the Royal Rumble, everybody knows that Roman's going to win it. And to me, you might have a good match, but the fun of the match is not knowing who's going to win it. You know who's going to win it.
Right. That's why I don't like knowing. They're like, oh, they plan on keeping it on him until then. Why is he even wrestling? Don't have him wrestle then.
Well, that's the other thing.
Don't even have him show up. Have him get more heat, but have him sitting at home with his feet up and being like, "What's up? You like my belt? I'll be back around
that's
Mania. That's the only time it's worth me, worth my time."
But the thing is, like,
ridiculous.
When he loses that belt, I genuinely do not want to see that dude for like a year or two. Yeah. Like, I really don't. Like, I have no use for him anymore. Right. Like, at a while, the Shield was cool. It's a different thing or whatever. And then he went on his own, but then he kind of grew on you, and then blah, 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 whatever. Now it's to the point of, like, who the fuck cares about Roman Reigns anymore?
Yeah.
You have beat a dead horse.
A lot of people do it. A lot of people are like, you should see all the things that they're like, you know, all hail the tribal chief, or he's like.
And these are also mostly the people that can't differentiate real life.
He's
from
the GOAT, and everyone,
life.
you know, like, you know, throw up the one, like he's the great. I'm like, how long have you guys been watching wrestling? Like, don't get me wrong. He's putting out his best work he's ever put out. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to shade like the character that he's finally like turned into. It's fantastic.
But it's old. It's old as hell.
It's just that it's beyond run its course.
Yeah.
And the when you compound it with like what we just said about with the addition of dirt sheet stuff, to where we know that they're saying he's not gonna lose it. Here's his next opponent already. It brings out all the. It's like, why even watch it? It's gonna be good, but why even watch it when you already know? Like, we know that they know the outcome.
Right.
We're not supposed to know the outcome. You know what I mean?
That's where the internet sucks anymore, to be honest with you.
Yeah, dude. That's
because you don't even have to try.
I have fine-tuned every feed that comes in.
Yeah, and it's
because I have a Google Pixel. I fine-tuned my Facebook feed, my YouTube feeds, and my Google feed, all to make it so like I do not see spoilers. And it was hard because all that algorithm bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
But like the fine-tuning I've had to do to be able to keep that stuff and not just rage quit all of it, was hard, because it's I don't.
It's everywhere.
Because is like the whole idea of it. I don't know when it happened, but it's like it is much like, because I'm a huge nerd, right? So nerd culture brought forth like the whole like, all right, like that we get to see all of this stuff. But then at some point, people wanted to start knowing every surprise that's in a movie or show or wrestling, or they wanted to know who's going to be there, what the entire plot is, and they want to see the sets. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, of course you're going to hate everything. You know it before it happens, and you're already judging it. You've ruined it. They ruined it. As much as they brought to the forefront and made everything great, they went too far and fucking ruined it.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
But that's the internet.
They did. It's like, and
that's the thing.
It hurts.
Like,
it hurts my head.
The amount of clips, and half the time they start, like when they're filming the new Ghostbusters, you're scrolling through and they start automatically. So you can't even like do anything about it. The amount of shit I've seen of people filming, and it's like, well, not that you've like ruined the movie, but like you're taking away from it. Like the cool part was waiting for a trailer to come out, and this and that. Now it is everybody's like, oh my God, this is filming here, so let me whatever. Yeah. That shouldn't even be allowed. If it goes on like YouTube, Facebook, or whatever, I don't care if it's privately owned, their own personal, it should be taken down, because you're sharing somebody else's intellectual property before it is completed,
and it's just like it's like spoiler, you can't trust people so much that like if something comes out and I really want to go see it, I literally won't open my phone. I'll open my phone to send a text or make a call. That is it. I won't pull Google over. I won't open up Facebook. I won't open up YouTube. Nothing.
I hate the fact.
I will go dark until I see it, so nothing gets spoiled. You know what I mean? One of my friends from high school, I literally, like, me and Stu both told him we were unfriending him because he ruined Star Wars. And then he apologized to us in like messages. We like both like refriended him, and then he publicly apologized to us, like on Facebook. And he's like, "I'm sorry, I didn't realize it's not a big thing to me. I didn't realize it was so big to other people." And I'm like, and I could say I don't hear it because we're decades, we're not decades, but we're years and years past it. But he literally shared the photo of the lightsaber through Han Solo, and I was and it was like that was like at midnight of the day it came out, and it was just like we're like, bro, you just literally just ruined.
Yeah, man.
A lot of stuff for but I mean, everything's cool now, obviously, but it's just, and it was more it's like you can't be ruining stuff. Like I go and see something, I sit on it. I don't post something like, oh, my favorite character in this show died, or this,
I'll allude. I'll be like, man, that was a crazy episode.
Yeah,
man, that was whatever. Like, and that's the other thing too.
And to bring it back to wrestling, the dirt sheets have ruined wrestling.
All of it.
And if you're leaking,
the internet
dirt
has
sheets,
ruined everything.
Yeah. And if you're leaking to the dirt sheets, like it's reported that like the Bucks are, then screw them too. You know what I mean? Like, and I have even had to say that when I was Sean and I were going back and forth. I'm like, I'm not sticking up for the Bucks either. I've literally talked shit to their faces at a 2CW show.
Yeah.
Which I know I say all the time, but I did because I don't have any. It's not like there's any love there. But the dirt sheets have ruined it.
Everybody needs to form their own opinions and own everything.
And when you compound it with his extended run, it's too much.
Yeah.
It's just too much.
That's where I'm like, I half watch it because it's, there's some people I'm like, cool, I want to see, this person in that match or whatever, but the Bloodline thing, I'm over it. It's boring to me now. Roman Reigns being champion, I'm overing it. It's boring to me now. Like, it's just... They do what WWE does when Vince is in control again. They beat it to death. And that's exactly what they've done with that. Like I am really, I knew he was in this episode, in an episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but, I shared with you and Coffin or whatever. It's like, just watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which is one of the best shows ever.
Oh, my God.
Just to see a very quick clip, because it was Terry talking about how he was an ordained minister and he did a wedding at a gym. To see LA Knight for like 2 seconds, just to be like, oh, hey, there he is. Like, forgot he did so many other things.
Oh, tons.
Before wrestling, but it was neat to see him just in a completely different whatever. I was like, neat, there he is. Like, wasn't expecting it. It was like, oh, look. And I know he's been in a bunch of other shit too. Yeah. But, like he's one that, at first I was like, yeah, you're kind of weird and douche. But now I'm like, I like you. You're different. You're very good on the mic. You're a good wrestler. Am I a little on the fence about your finishing moves? Are they pretty close to the stunner and the people's elbow? Yeah, you varianted them enough that they're not, but they're damn close. Like they're damn close.
It's like if you mix. If the stunner and the DDT had a baby, that's his finisher.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, or it's kind of like skull crushing finale too. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty good.
Because even the elbow drop, he hits one of the ropes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't do the full back and forth, but he's still.
Rope and then the high jump.
Yes, he does get a lot of air
high
when he does that.
He gets high. He gets high and flattens out early.
And that's the thing. He should take a page out of Orton's book and see what happens when you do moves like that, where you're landing on your back time after time after time. When The Rock would do it, it was a little more smooth because he would do it from standing and just kind of drop the elbow.
Yeah, it's more that quick,
But I'm pretty sure the main reason Orton had to get the back surgery, a lot of it was the RKOs.
Right.
Because he's always lands on his back when he does those moves. And how many times has he done them in a night? Or, so it's one of those things where, dude, you keep, jumping 5 feet in the air.
Right.
And coming down on your back, eventually that's going to catch up to you. And probably sooner than later. You don't want that. You're the type of wrestler that should have and deserves a long run.
Right.
And I'm not saying get rid of the move altogether, but it's like rethink it a little bit. Maybe not put as much because you will. Dude, your back is going to be shot in like 5 years if that's your finishing move. And now you're going to be featured more because you're getting a good push. So you're going to be doing more matches. You're going to be doing it a lot more. And it's like, dude, don't ruin yourself before your career is over. Not that I'm saying Orton's career is over, but the dude's been in it for a long time. And
he's been out for a long time.
His career were to be over, I feel he could walk away from that and be like, I had a damn good career in this business. LA Knight is just really starting. So it's like, first of all, you got shafted and you were Max Dupree. And I feel bad for you.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely felt bad.
He's getting started in WWE, but he had it going good in NWA and then Impact. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Which people don't. It's like, oh, they don't acknowledge it, but they should.
Well, yeah.
Should, because he did it.
Are you saying they should acknowledge him?
Don't start. All right, I'm gonna run a commercial.
Come visit 16 Stone with 2 locations, the original on Holland Patton and the second location in Utica, with handcrafted beer and seltzers, 50-cent wings on Wednesdays in the Utica location. Wine and Whiskey Club every Wednesday. Check out their full brewpub menu on their website, Facebook, and Instagram. Protein shakes also available at the Utica location. Come visit 16 Stone.
Speaking of,
Might go there for lunch.
there you go. Don't talk about lunch, you fucker.
I'm hungry.
I am too, and I can't do it. I got to go back to work after this, so I can't get anything till I go home. But I get to leave early because I've been going in at 5:30 in the
Well,
morning.
there you go.
So speaking of Mr. Stone, look at me. I'm all about segues today.
Yeah, you've been segueing up.
Let's talk a little bit about the old ICW that's
Segway's
coming
on.
up. The Segway's on. You're going to give me a segue now?
Yeah.
Just drive around that shit. So, yeah, if you didn't know, next Saturday, the 16th, ICW returns to Westmoreland at the Elevate, CNY.
I got
Immortal.
my ass beat there.
Would it be what? Immortal Triple X?
Yeah, Triple X 30. I don't know, whatever
So,
you want to call it.
a few matches have been announced. I was going to say there couldn't be 30 of them. That's why I was wondering.
Not 30 years, but 30 shows.
True. Yes, that's true. But speaking of Mr. Stone,
I've only missed 4. I missed the first.
I've been to every one since I started, except for that one. a couple
I
months
missed
ago.
the first one, came to the second one, missed another one because of like work stuff, and then didn't miss any more until
A couple months ago.
the last 2.
Yeah. So Mr. Stone, owner and proprietor of 16 Stone, him and Mr. Marcus Zeal, Power Supply. There is now a fatal 4-way for the Tag Team Championships. It is going to be Edge of Hope, not with Matic, with, I can't remember his name. The other guy that's not Matic.
Yes,
Do you know his name?
I forgot.
Awesome.
Because I'm terrible with names, and then I'm especially terrible when you put me on the spot. It's like we'll go off air and I'll remember it.
Yeah. Then we
And I've
have,
met him plenty of times.
so it's Edge of Hope, Power Supply, and I don't know how to pronounce these guys' name. I don't know if it's the,
Is it 2 C's?
yeah.
Is it Italian?
Yeah. Nachi.
Yeah.
The Nachi Mafia, which
Yeah. Don't ask me why it's
sounds like
backwards in
another
time.
sounds like another word, but those 3 will be going against the Sons of Allah, Ben Hameen, Blaze Haram, the current ICW Tag Team Champions. So that'd be a good one. Bill Collier returns. He'll be going against Sebastian Braun.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Garrett Holiday, I believe, will be putting his title on the line. Let's see here. If I can round it. Maybe not.
Isn't he wrestling Eddie?
He is wrestling Eddie. I'm pretty sure
Dude.
his title is on the line for that.
That's
Yep, he'll be wrestling Eddie Edwards, who is also doing a seminar
crazy.
that day. If you're a trained wrestler and all that good stuff, he'll be doing a seminar. Brad Hollister versus Richard Holiday. And then we got, let's see, what does he go by now? Hot Stuff. Shane Stetson. I can't even say that with a straight face.
Hot Stuff.
Versus Jorajal. I don't know if that one's for the title.
I would imagine it probably is.
Well, hopefully Hot Stuff loses.
Man, I love Jorah.
Oh,
Jorah's
yeah, no, he's a
awesome.
great guy. And he's got this killer mustache now.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it.
When he was there, last month or whatever, I'm like, he has a nice mustache now. So that is, at this point in time, the matches that have been announced that I could see. I'm assuming, this is just an assumption, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm assuming Kayla will be wrestling. Mm-hmm. Again, just an assumption. I'm not saying there's a match. She's on one of the posters, so I'm assuming that she will be
Because she's still white hot. So
gracing us with her awesome presence after her, win over Becca the last time and getting her title back.
Yeah. Becoming the first ever 2-time.
Mm-hmm. Hot Stuff, Shane Stetson. I don't know, man. I mean, it's funny, but it's just hard for me to look at him and be like, Hot Stuff. I it's difficult. So yeah, that is again next
I love it.
Saturday.
I love it because you're supposed to hate it.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
It's like why? That's why.
Yeah.
Because you're like, but well, that's why.
So yeah, that's next Saturday, September 16th at Elevate CNY in Westmoreland. Normal doors open for 5:45. Show starts at 6:45, which means show starts at like 7.
Yeah. And you know who else we'll see there?
Who?
Want to be a wrestler? How about a referee? Be a manager? Or a valet? Come down to UWE. This is where it's at. Hi, I'm Craig Palmer, owner of UWE.
Yes, and I'm head trainer Ben Hameen. And that's right, infidels. Come on down to Upstate Wrestling Entertainment and train with the best in professional wrestling today.
Right.
These idiots right here. Craig, set them free. Let's go.
I have to say, I always watch
Bobby's face.
And Red is up there. He looks exhausted. I just noticed that. I'm like, man,
We shot it at the end of the night.
Yeah, true. So yeah, and does he say at the end, "Do you want to be a valet?"
Yeah.
Like a driver?
No, like how that's what they call female managers.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they've always said
Oh, no.
it's like what's her like Miss Elizabeth was.
I
she
just
was a
thought they
valet.
were just called managers.
No, it was like they differentiated. It was the manager and then the valet.
Because I just think of the valet as a dude that stands at a podium and takes your car and probably drives it recklessly to whatever parking spot they're taking it to.
Right.
Because that's what I would do. Also, speaking of Miss Kayla, she will be wrestling at the Premier Streaming Network's Wrestling Showcase event in New Jersey this Saturday.
Yep, I just saw
If you're
that.
not down there, you can get the pay-per-view through whatever Premier Streaming or watch on Premier.com. But she will be defending the ICW Women's Championship against Veda Scott, who she did wrestle
She's wrestled
a few months ago.
Yeah, yep.
Won, of course, but so we'll see what goes on there.
So
So
it's
if
probably
you're
coming back for revenge.
yeah, and it's supposed to be kind of a shitty weekend weather-wise. So if you're around here, why not? Good pay-per-view to watch. You get to see Kayla in action. I don't know who else is on the card for that at all. So my girlfriend's heading home. Everybody knows that now.
Oh,
She's
nice.
leaving. She's leaving work
Nice.
at her awesome, stupid job, and she's heading home. So yeah, I think that's
All
it.
right.
I will not be here next week
You
as
won't
I
be
have
here
to
next
do
week, so
a
I'll just
lot
be
of.
sad.
Yeah, Joe will be here.
Will he?
Yeah, he said that in the chat the other
Okay.
day when I was like, I can't be there next week because of work purposes. And I will be here the following week when I'm on vacation. That's right. I'll even come do the show while I'm on vacation.
Nice. This is one of my. I think tomorrow's the last day of my vacation.
Oh,
I was on vacation for like a week and a half.
nice.
And this is a good one though. What sucks is that like I took one like a few weeks ago, and I shouldn't have taken that one because with everything with work and how it was, it's like we had one good day. That was the day we went to Enchanted Forest, and every other day I literally just paced around like worrying about work. I might as well just been at work. You know, and it was awful. Now I was like, I'll be going back to work refreshed, and and I got I think 8 days left there at that house. I have to work 5 days straight, and I'm off next Wednesday. But then, what you call it? I will be starting a new job. Same job, different position, different place, different time. In which we will be changing time for sure 100%, and most likely day, because Mondays and Wednesdays are going to be big for my family with the boys and getting places. We're thinking possibly Tuesdays, for Tuesdays like maybe 5-ish for rescheduling Wrestle Fandom Radio.
Which, if that's the case, you're all going to see my dog because I got to bring him.
Which is cool. I'll put him on camera. I don't care.
Oh, he'll love it, man. He'll just chill.
I'll aim the camera
in the chair.
wherever he is. I'll put him
every
on
chair in our house has become Indy's chair.
Yeah.
Like, we're like, this is our chair. And then, like, within, like, a week, we're like, that's Indy's chair now. So, yeah, he would kick in that chair. He would just sleep.
Yeah.
I mean, once he gets over the excitement of people in a new place, he would just sleep. But, yeah. So,
that's cool. I'll put him on camera.
I'll give him, like, a, wrestling outfit.
Yeah.
Maybe the mascot. All right.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me, but yeah, we'll
figure it out. We'll keep everybody posted.
Yeah, we'll keep everybody posted, but couple weeks out. Just wanted to let people know. And so we will see everybody next week. Not Todd, but
not me. But if you're
we'll
at the wrestling on next Saturday, you'll see me.
Yes. And we have tickets. If you want tickets, we have tickets.
Tickets.
All right.
All right.
All right. We'll see everybody then.
Peace.
It's the real to you, damn it. You support us, your favorite. Talking name, Jay Styles, Chris